Welcome back to the Southampton save. Welcome to the January transfer window. We can't finish the window today because I still need your feedback about what players to potentially replace Joe Aribo in the starting lineup with. However, I've got a number of scout reports out currently and we'll be pushing our way through the episode today by playing Wycombe in the FA Cup and Tottenham in the Premier League, hoping obviously to progress against Wycombe and then have that next round of the FA Cup drawn probably later in the month of January, I would imagine, and then we'll finish the transfer window tomorrow. But to ensure obviously you guys continue to get daily uploads and keep you entertained every single day, we shall continue on and ensure that we get something for you to watch today. Diallo loan offer. We've had a number of Diallo loan offers and they've all been from big clubs as well, which is perplexing because he's not that good and doesn't look like he's going to grow that well. So I'm really surprised, unless there's just a distinct lack of any high quality players in that position. You guys have asked what development plan Romeo Lavia is on because his progress has been slow, and I have him training in an area that should significantly improve his overall for being a defensive midfielder, but he's just taking a little while to actually grow, which is frustrating, but it's out of my control really. Hopefully by the end of the month, in fact if I do that it might even be by the end of the episode, hopefully by the end of the month he'll have gone up to 75, but you are correct, he is growing a little bit slower perhaps than we would have expected him to at this stage of the save. He does have potential of 86, and he has grown, to be fair, by 5 ratings already in a season and a half, but you see players grow up by 5 ratings in 6 months sometimes. So I'm surprised that Lavia is as slow a grower as he has been to this point, but hopefully he'll kick on in the second half of this season. That is the plan and the aim and the hope, of course. Right, let's get ourselves through to the next round of the FA Cup, because whilst we are trying to chase down the European positions in the Premier League, going well in the FA Cup give us an even better chance of finishing in a position that gives us Europa League football next season. Win the FA Cup and we'll be in the Europa League next year. But first, Wycombe are in the way. Wycombe, a side we're more familiar with from the Road to Glory save on the main channel, but Wycombe certainly a decent opposition for us here. They're in League One, or at least I presume they're in League One. They should be in League One. And they've got a side that have some decent players in it, some late 60s, early 70s, and we're hoping that a rotated 11 for me, actually, that I shall show you here with Teller, Armstrong, Watkins, Diallo, Joelinton, Belakotep, Semeyu, Williams and Dubravka getting the opportunity. It's still a side for me that is certainly going to be good enough to get the victory, and it's a good opportunity for some fringe players to get some first-team football. But we should be through to the next round of the FA Cup relatively comfortably here. And then we'll see who we get in the next round. Some more favourable draws would be very much welcome, of course. Dubravka with an early save. And you can notice there that one of the Wycombe guys has that set of boots. It makes it look like he has some elastic bands tying his feet together. So forgive that. It's that guy there that was just chasing me down. Out of my control, I'm afraid. If it was one of my players, I could change his boots. With it being one of theirs, I don't think I can. Just knock that down. Comfortably enough dealt with. Ward-Prowse getting away from his man. Armstrong in a good position. Stuart Armstrong, man whose contract is expiring at the end of the season, is going to try and help us win something before he departs. We lead by a goal to nil in the FA Cup against Wycombe. Their defence split apart. Nice ball by James Ward-Prowse and a relatively simple finish. Good movement by Armstrong, to be fair, to run into that space, identify the area to break into, and then finish it nicely. Lovely ball through the gap. Here's Hanlon in a good position now. Forced wide and side netting only. Some of the Wycombe fans, I think, thought that had gone in. But that's the closest they have come. It might be the closest they will come to a goal in this game. We've been pretty solid defensively so far. And Ward-Prowse is looking to open up their defensive line again, which he's done well. And Ollie Watkins has taken it past the man. But then he can't find the target. To be fair, he does have to try and bend it around their defender. And he's just not quite got the technique right to get the spin on it, has he? Well in, Semeyu. Campbell trying to squeeze it and then fight to win it back again. Laying it around them nicely. Still only the one goal, though. As much as it's been relatively comfortable to deal with all of their offensive play, I can't really seem to find that second goal to finish them off, can I? He says, as we nearly get the second goal to finish them off. Striek with a good save. Well, Prowse's delivery's decent here. Ollie Watkins is up well. Joelinton needs good technique. Has it. But again, a good save by Striek. Continually, no second goal for us. And the keeper's going to come for that as well. Keeping themselves in it here, Wycombe. Whether they are having to thank their goalkeeper for that. Lewis Wing. He's done well. And Josh Scowen picked off well by Joelinton. Scowen out to Campbell. And the strike. Oh, as if that's gone in! It was such a tame effort from Scowen. Well, no, was it Brandon Hanlon, in fact? No, it wasn't Brandon Hanlon, because that's Brandon Hanlon celebrating with his man. Campbell, then. That's Scowen there. Laid it across here to Campbell out wide. And Dubravka's just slow to react to it. That's such a peculiar goal. No deflection. It's at a comfortable enough height. And Dubravka just doesn't react in time. Yep, I agree, mate. Scorelines at half-time. Reading 1-0 up at the Medeski against Arsenal is certainly a shock result so far. Liverpool being held by Sheffield United. City being held by Luton. Chelsea beating Bolton so far. Portsmouth 1-0 up at Ellen Road. Anything else in there? Swansea holding Manchester United. Any other shocks? Potentially Brentford 2-0 up against Brighton. Well, to be fair, it's not really much of a shock, is it? No, so us being held by Wycombe isn't the most embarrassing scoreline of the day so far, but it's certainly up there for now. We were definitely creative enough in that first half, though, to feel confident that we can get ourselves a victory here. I'd very much obviously like to avoid a replay with what could become a very unnecessarily busy month of January. Play that over the top to Nathan Teller, who hopefully will get to it quickly and turn inside and beat his man. And beat the second man as well. Well, Nathan Teller could go all the way here if Farino hadn't come across and put an end to his run. It's annoying. Can we get to that with Semedo? Not even close. Can Nathan Teller have his effort this time? He can, but it's going a long way wide. Well, the creativity continues, but the ball still doesn't go in the back of the net. And Fikayo Tomori confirmed to going to Manchester City is a massive move for the Premier League. That will certainly strengthen their backline because they have let go of Aymeric Laporte in this save already. They do need a better centre-back partner for Ruben Dias. And now they most certainly have it. Can we have a second goal here? Oh, no. Looking for Ward-Prowse. And Wycombe, again, defending well, but not getting rid of it well. Watkins, for a second time, can't find James Ward-Prowse. Fucking hell. And again, they just can't get rid of it, Wycombe. Top bins, please. Get it on target, mate. Still no second goal for Southampton. The chances are racking up. But the goals aren't. The fixtures might be, though, if this ends up going to a replay. If they do that, though, it certainly won't be going to a replay. It's not Nathan Teller, it's Ibrahima Diallo. One of the easier efforts for the keeper to save, but because he kept it low, couldn't get down to it. That might be the winning goal now. Linton intercepts nicely. Teller. Diallo. He's getting a bit carried away now. He scored one. He wants another. Ibrahima Diallo going all the way and then putting it over the top of the bar. Fair play to him for having the confidence to just continue to go and then let fly with a shot, but he certainly could have done better with it, that's for sure. And then we'll get Ollie Watkins in. I need support, or do I? Probably not. Ollie Watkins, keep it down, mate. Come on, you and Diallo now. Could have finished this game off. Right underneath it. Poor from Ollie. It's been pretty bad in this game, Ollie Watkins, if I'm honest. Ward-Prowse, Joelinton, Watkins. His touch is poor. The finish is not. That's the sort of quality we expect to see from Ollie Watkins day in, day out. That was a very good finish. And under pressure as well. He's had some chances where he's had no pressure on him and he's put it well wide. That time, man on his shoulder, and he just holds him off whilst at the same time putting the ball into the bottom corner. It's a really smart finish. 3-1. That's us through. Fair play, Wycombe, though. They've performed very well here. Free kick for Wycombe. Sam Vokes on for Brandon Hanlon for them. Don't think Sam Vokes is going to be able to change the game, unfortunately. Diallo, a bit delayed in the pass from me, though. And Ken Campbell nearly added to his earlier goal by grabbing a second. That would have been a really nervy last final 5 minutes. Corner Wycombe, 3.5 minutes to go. Goal, Wycombe. 3 minutes to go. It's Ken Campbell again, the man whose effort led to the corner in the first place. What a leap. What a finish. I tell you what, I'm not impressed with Martin Dubravka today. That might just be because that was an excellent header. He definitely should have done better with the first. Could he have done better with the second? I'm not sure. Wycombe scoring a very good goal. No, he definitely couldn't have done anything about that. Sorry, Martin. That is certainly not your fault. That's just an exceptional header. We've been very creative, though, and it's really only our wastefulness that has meant that the game really is in question at all. Again, Ollie Watkins can't finish. Striek with a good save. 5 minutes added on at the end of the game. So we could yet see another goal in this one. And it might come now. Bar and over. Horgan. Thompson. Fans at St Mary's are whistling to try and encourage the referee to blow early. He's not going to. And Wycombe have a late corner here in the 95th minute. Lewis Wing will deliver from the set piece. Are they going to steal a replay? Farino wins the header, but it's gone the wrong way. And the centre-back feeds, I think it was the right-back, Grimmer. It's deflected and goes out for another corner. 97th minutes for Wycombe now. And they could, yet they have forced the replay. Sam Vokes off the bench. League One side Wycombe Wanderers will take us back to Adams Park. I can't believe it. Boos around the ground. 2 goals from corners for Wycombe Wanderers today. And our FA Cup progression isn't yet affirmed. I think they're the same. Oh no, Farino out, Ken Campbell out, but still strong or similar from Wycombe. Brown, forward to Ward-Prowse, down the line there to Suleiman. I'll try and quickly get this in to Che Adams, who can quite calmly just slot us 1-0 in front. The reserve side, so to speak, those fringe players couldn't get it done against Wycombe, but certainly the slightly higher quality players, that aren't necessarily that much higher quality than the players that played in the last game, look like they're going to get the job done this time. Good footwork. Che Adams. Just knock this back to Aribo. Look for Che again. And Jimmy. James Ward-Prowse. Foot through it, son. A 2-goal advantage again against Wycombe. Let's not throw it away this time, shall we? Now that should be us through to the 4th round of the FA Cup. James Ward-Prowse is with me. Aribo's there again. Aribo will look for Che Adams, who just had to hold his run to stay onside. And too many times in these games against Wycombe, my guys have put too much underneath it and smashed it well over the top of the bar. We could have won the first game by about 6. We could be 3-0 up in this one. We are now 3-0 up in this one, but only because of the generosity of Wycombe's backline. I can't say as I've been convinced by either performance, to be honest, in front of goal, despite scoring 6 against Wycombe. And that is a much more comfortable second game against Wycombe Wanderers. That's what should have happened in the first one. Through to the 4th round. Now, who we play and when we play them, I don't know. But Tottenham in 4 days' time. Tottenham Hotspur come down to the south coast with Alex Ramiro in goal this time. Emerson Royale, Eric Dyer, Christian Mary, David Alaba and Destiny Udogie. Højbjerg and Bentancur holding with Chukwueze, Kane and Son as the front 3. Obviously, Kane and Son going to be particularly dangerous, although Chukwueze was very good against us when we played Tottenham at their ground earlier this season. So I'm going to keep an eye on him as well and not necessarily let focus drift from any aspect of their front 3 because all could be dangerous. Destiny Udogie gets the nod at left back ahead of Sergio Reguilon. And so far is doing a decent job at playing at left wing back. Oh, nice little ball back by Kane to Chukwueze. Back to Kane and over the bar. We're not the only ones that have been wasteful by blaring shots over the top today. Very similar to one that Ollie Watkins had in the first game against Wycombe today, that. I'll go over the top looking for the run over Alcaraz, who should have the legs on Dyer and does, and he's in behind here. There's not much room though. We find James Ward-Prowse perhaps on the edge of the box. Good first touch is required. A good first touch is what we get. And a decent second as well as the ball was headed towards the back of the net. But a decent stop by the goalkeeper ensures that we don't take a 1-0 lead. Salisu's header not great. It's going to fall for Alcaraz though. And Sulemana wants it, and he scored a worldie on his left before this season, and it's only a fingertip save from Alex Ramiro that stops him from doing so again. It may even actually have been against Spurs that he scored that effort, Sulemana. Here's Joe Aribo on his left. It's going to fall to Che, and the first time, quickly taken effort, catches the keeper out, and we will have a 1-0 lead at St Mary's. I don't think the keeper's covered himself in glory on that occasion, despite 2 good saves earlier on. Perhaps just caught out by it. Che Adams spinning on the spot, swivelling on that right foot, outside the left foot, past the keeper. I'll take it. Chukwueze, Salisu intercepts. Kane. It's tame and comfortable for Gavin Bazunu there. It's not worked for Spurs on this occasion. Neither has Sulemana's heavy touch there. Worked for me, but they're loose in possession again, Tottenham. And whilst they're 1-0 down here, they won't be massively confident of getting themselves back in it because we've been solidly defensive so far. And we could have had a second goal. Chukwueze, ball rolls done one. Højbjerg. Oh, trying to help it on its way and take it quickly there, Harry Kane, the same way that Che Adams did at the other end. Hasn't worked for Tottenham the way it did for us. And they still trail here as we approach half-time. Let him drift from his sights. Aribo and Che. Adams out of his feet. Oh! Tried to take it quickly again, like we did with the goal. It certainly didn't work. Samuel Chukwueze coming off and Richarlison coming on for Tottenham now with half an hour to go. They have a 1-0 deficit to try and rescue. Through that gap, will find Sulemana. And Aribo's in the middle. And the cross is excellent. Joe! Why are you diving heading that, mate? It's at such a great height for a volley. He's thrown himself at it. And he might have cost us the chance of winning the game or assuring the 3 points there, a 2-0 lead. I don't think with less than 20 to go, Tottenham turn around. But one, they certainly could. Joel Aribo's got to take that with his feet. And surely he scores. Alcaraz. See the run. And Aribo's in. And Che's with me. Che Adams to seal it. Goal and game, you would presume. Che Adams scores again with his 11th goal of this calendar season. And we are going to get ourselves 3 points against Tottenham. In the one against Forest yesterday, I said I wanted to show that we were becoming a really good, decent, European challenging side by showing that level of performance and scoreline from Forest against a side like Tottenham was the exact example I gave. And it looks like we are doing so. 4-0, obviously not the scoreline here, but a really solid 2. Could have been more if Joe Aribo tucked away that effort earlier on. This is the result, more so than anything else, that shows this Southampton side are really progressing at a rate that could well see us be a Europa League side by the end of the season. Lukaku pulls one back for Chelsea against Manchester United, but they'd extended their lead to 2 just as we have in this one. So it looks like Manchester United might be going top of the Premier League after this fixture. Halfway through the month of January, we do have Manchester United to come later in the month as well. Our FA Cup game has been drawn. I'm not sure if I mentioned it in a highlight at any point, but we have Bournemouth in the next round of the FA Cup. So certainly the chance to... God, get rid. Certainly... I just couldn't do it. Certainly the chance to progress in the FA Cup still from the 4th round to the 5th. And we are progressing up the table with victory here as well, I'd like to think. Certainly putting pressure on those sides in the lower European spots. That's 6th, 7th and 8th place. That's going to be a victory for us when eventually the referee blows his whistle. All things sold, albeit Not as comfortable as we might have liked to get past Wycombe. That's a very good episode for us. Delighted with it. Progression in the cup and a win in the league. We couldn't have asked for much more. Man United do see their 2-1 scoreline through. And I believe that puts them top by 3 points then. At the top end of the table. I think they were second and Chelsea were first. That was indeed the case. And Man United do now lead the league by 3 points. Chelsea are a further point ahead of Liverpool, and all three of them are on the same goal difference, so that is one hell of a fight for the title at this stage of the season. We find ourselves up to 10th in 32 points, and we're only 5 still behind Manchester City in 7th. Very much in the hunt for a European spot in the league, if you don't mind. We've Manchester United, in fact, next for the next episode, then Bournemouth and Sheffield United to round out the month of January, where hopefully we will see a new central attacking midfielder join the club as well. That's all for this episode though. Thank you very much for watching, of course. Please do keep your suggestions coming in for that new cam roll, and it won't be long before we're hopefully signing someone that will improve us yet further. But delighted with that performance. Rather typically, Joe Aribo, the man I'm looking to replace in that cam roll, is now the assist leader in the league. Shock, but certainly he can be improved upon, and more consistency could be found in that position. He's just had a very good episode, I think, Joe Aribo. That's all for now. Cheers, lads. I'll see you tomorrow.